Chapter 6. A Young Man in Love. Love is a more wonderful thing than art. One afternoon, a month later, Dorian Gray visited Lord Henry. Dorian was excited, and his eyes were shining. "Harry," it began, "I'm discovering life. I'm doing everything that you told me to do. I'm in love." "Who are you in love with?" asked Lord Henry calmly. "With an actress." "Oh, everybody's in love with an actress at some time in their lives," said Lord Henry. "No, Harry, this is different. She's wonderful. Her name's Sybil Vane. And one day, she'll be a very famous actress. She really is extraordinarily clever." "My dear boy, no woman is extraordinarily clever. Women have nothing to say, but they only say it beautifully. There are only few women in London who can give you real conversation. But tell me about your wonderful actress. How long have you known her?" "Harry, I'll tell you all about her, but you must promise me not to laugh." Lord Henry listened and smiled. Dorian had discovered an old, dirty theater in a poor street in London. "I went to look for adventure, but I found love, Dorian." He had gone to look for adventure, but had found love, he told Henry. The play had been Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Romeo was a fat old man with a terrible voice, but Juliet... Oh, Harry, she was about 17, with dark brown hair and a face like a flower. She was the loveliest girl, and her voice was like music. I love her, Harry. She's everything to me. Every night I go to see her in different plays, and she's always wonderful." "That's the reason, I suppose, why you never have dinner with me now," said Lord Henry. "But Harry, you and I see each other every day. We always have lunch together. I have to go and see Sybil in the theater every night. You and Basil must come with me to see her. Then you can see yourself how wonderful she is. Come tomorrow." "Very well, my dear Dorian. We'll come and watch your Juliet. But you'll be in love many times. You know, this is only the beginning." After Dorian had gone, Lord Henry smiled to himself. How amusing it was to watch this young man, he thought. He was very different now from the frightened boy in Basil Howard's house. He had opened like a flower in the sun and was learning to enjoy every pleasure in life. And it is I who have taught him how to do this. When Lord Henry returned home that night, there was a letter for him lying on the table. It told him Dorian Gray was going to marry Sybil Vane. Chapter 7. Juliet in Love. Mother, I'm so happy, and you must be happy too." Mrs. Vane put her thin, white hands on her daughter's head. "I'm only happy when I see you in the theater," she said. "And we're poor. We need the money. Don't forget that." "What do you know about this young man?" "You don't know his real name or anything about him." "No, but I call him Prince Charming. He's everything to me. I love him and he loves me. Oh, mother, let me be happy. You're too young to think of love, said her mother. She looked at her daughter's lovely face and tried to warn her of the dangers of love. But the girl did not listen. She was locked in her prison of love. At that moment, the girl's brother entered the room. He was a heavy, dark young man, and not like his sister at all. I've heard about a gentleman who visits you every night at the theater, he said to his sister. Who is he? What does he want? Oh, James, don't be angry with me, cried Sybil. You're leaving for Australia tomorrow, and today is your last day. Come for a walk with me in the park. I'll go and get ready. She then settled the room, and her mother and brother could hear her singing as she ran upstairs. James Vane turned to his mother. Mom, my new life as a sailor will keep me away from England for many years, but I don't like to leave you and Sybil alone. Sybil has me, her mother. You know I never leave her alone. Then take care of her. If that man hurts my sister, I'll find him and kill him like a dog. Chapter 8. As they waited for Dorian Gray the next night, Lord Henry and Basil Howard discussed Sybil Vane. Basil had not been happy at the news of Dorian's marriage plans. An actress? But Doeyan is a gentleman, the grandson of Lord Kelso. He cannot marry an actress. Why not? Said Lord Henry. He'll love her wildly for 6 months, and then suddenly he'll be in love with another woman. It will be very amusing to watch. But when Dorian arrived and told the story of his love, Basil came a little happier. You're right. The woman that you love must be wonderful. I can see already that she's changed you. Yes, Sybil has changed me, said Dorian happily. From this moment, I shall be good. I'll never listen again, Harry, to your dangerous ideas about life and pleasure. Lord Henry smiled. When we're happy, we're always good. But when we're good, we're not always happy. You cut life to pieces with your clever words, Harry. The theater was crowded and noisy, but when Sybil Vane appeared, everyone became silent. She was one of the most beautiful girls the Lord Henry had ever seen. Lovely, lovely, he said. But although Sybil looked beautiful, her voice sounded unnatural. She spoke Juliet's words, but there was no feelings in them. Her voice was lovely, but it took away all the life from the words. People in the theater began talking loudly, and after half an hour, Lord Henry stood up and put on his coat. She's very beautiful, Dorian, but she's not an actress. Let's go. I think that Miss Vane must be ill, added Basil. We'll come another night. Dorian didn't look at them. Go away. I want to be alone. And his friends left. He covered his face with his hands. When the play came to its painful end, Doeyan went to see Sibyl. "I wasn't a very good Juliet tonight," said Juliet, and looked at him with love in her eyes. "You were terrible. My friends were bored. I was bored. I suppose you were ill." She did not seem to hear him. "Doeyan, before I knew you, the theater was my only life. I thought that it was all true. I knew nothing but shadows, and I thought that they were real. But you've taught me the difference between art and life. How can I pretend to be Juliet, to feel Juliet's love when I know now that what true love is?" Doeyan turned his face away from her. "But I loved you for your art, because you were a wonderful actress." His voice was hard. "You have killed my love. Without your art, you're nothing. I never want to see you again." Sibyl's face was white with fear. "You're not serious, are you, Doeyan?" She touched his arm with her small, gentle hand. "Don't touch me." He pushed her away, and she fell to the floor and lay there like a broken bird. "Doeyan, please, don't leave me. I love you better than anything in the world. Don't leave me." Dorian Gray looked down at her with his beautiful eyes. There was no love or gentleness in his face. "I'm going. I don't wish to be unkind, but I don't want to see you again." And he left without another word. All night he walked through the streets of London. When morning came, he went home. When he entered his house, he saw the portrait of himself that Basil Howard had painted. There was something different about it. The face had changed. There was something unkind and cruel about the mouth. It was very strange. He picked up a mirror and looked at his own face, then looked again at the face in the portrait. Yes, it was different. What did this change mean? Suddenly he remembered his wish in Basil Howard's house. His wish that he could stay young, but the picture could grow old. The idea was impossible, of course, but why did the face in the picture have that cruel, unkind mouth? Had he been cruel to Sibyl Vane? He remembered her white, unhappy face as she lay at his feet. But she had hurt him too. No, Sibyl Vane was nothing to him now. But the picture washed him with its beautiful face and its cruel smile. It had taught him to love his own beauty. Would it also teach him to hate his own heart, his own soul? No, he would go back to Sibyl Vane. He would marry her, try to love her again. Poor child, how cruel he had been to her. They would be happy together. He covered the picture and quickly left the room.